Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and today in the video we're going to study about how and why birds sing and look into its proximate cause. So now if we look into our surrounding, we'll find many birds with their different songs or calls. That means different bird species have their unique song or calls. Not only the different bird species, even the members of same species, they vocalize differently. Now, for example, a species which is called white-crowned sparrow. These species, they have local dialects. What do we mean by dialect? Like I'm teaching you in English language. The way I speak English, the way I pronounce each and every words will be different from the person who is staying in USA. The person who is staying in USA speak English differently from the person who stays in Australia. So that means we have different varieties, though we are all speaking English, but we have different dialects. Now coming to the local dialects, that means, for example, in India, we speak Hindi, but we have different dialects of Hindi. For example, like Haryanvi Hindi. Those who are staying in Haryana, they speak a Haryanvi Hindi. It can be a Punjabi Hindi. So though we are all speaking Hindi, but we have different dialects. Similarly, these birds, that is white crowned sparrow, they also have their local dialects that create geographic mosaic. What do we mean by geographic mosaic? Say, for example, this is one piece of area, this is one piece of area, this is one piece of area. These are the three land spaces where this white crowned sparrows are found. So the sparrow found in this area, number one, they have their dialects which is different from the sparrow, those who are found in area number 2. Similarly, the sparrows of area 1 and 2, they have different dialects from the sparrow living in area 3. Though they are all white-crowned sparrows, but they live in different area and hence they have different dialects. And this creates a geographic mosaic. That means because of their different dialects, they are divided. With the dialect 1, we can say that these species live in geographic area 1. With the dialect 2, we can say that this particular species live in geographic area 2. So this how they create a geographic mosaic. Now in white crowned sparrow, even the males and females, they have different song or calls. In case of male, they have a complex whistled vocalization, whereas in females, they have a simple call note. So not only their dialects differ in geographic areas, even the males and females, they have different song or calls, where males, they vocalize a very complex whistle sound, and females, they have their simple calls. Now what can be the proximate reason behind this? Proximate reason or the cause behind such behavior could be that these sparrows are genetically different. Area-wise, their genes are different, because of which they have different songs or calls. Even in males and females, definitely some genes are different which are specific to the males, and there are some genes which are specific to the females. Maybe because of their genes, they have different calls even between males and females. And because of this, they may have different nerve cells that vocalize different songs. This can be the proximate cause that why white-crowned sparrows from different geographic area have different dialects, and also why male and females have different song or call patterns. Now, whatever the scientists are saying, they have to prove it. To prove this proximate explanation, an experiment was performed by Peter Marler and his colleagues. What they did is they hatched eggs and hand-reared babies in lab, and some of these babies they kept in a soundproof chamber. So what they did it, they collected eggs of white-crowned sparrows, they hatched them and hand-reared the babies in the laboratory in a soundproof chamber. The result obtained was these young sparrows, they began singing, but their song was different from the wild sparrow. So, from this experiment, what was concluded is environment also has its effect. It's not only the genes that are responsible for singing, because if the gene is the sole responsible factor for the song, then in that case, even if the babies are reared in a soundproof chamber, they should be singing same like the wild sparrow because they are carrying the same gene after all. But the difference in the song of the lab grown sparrow from the wild sparrow shows that environment also plays an important role. Environment has its effect on the way the song develop. Now, this is confirmed by an extension of this experiment. What they did is they hand reared the babies, but now they allowed the babies to hear the recorded tapes, which consist of song from the wild sparrow. The result they obtained was the same song. So that means what they are hearing, they are singing. So both the factors are present. Genes also are responsible. Why? Because if genes won't be responsible, then the soundproof chamber babies won't be able to sing. But they are singing. So that means they carries the gene for this particular song. But because environment also plays a role which was absent in the soundproof, therefore their song was different. Now when the babies which were grown in the lab, they were allowed to hear the tapes consist of the wild sparrow song, they are singing the same way, which shows along with the genes, the environment also has its effect. That means the babies will sing the song what they hear from their surrounding or from their parents. So what could be the elaborate conclusion of this? Now, elaborate conclusion of this result is first, song recognition. The young babies that is of 10 to 15 days old, they recognize the song which they hear in their surrounding or from their parents and grandparents. Whatever they are hearing, they're recognizing it. The second is song practice. That means whatever they are hearing, they're practicing themselves. And the third is song crystallization. Song crystallization means like we humans, those who learn music. So what they do is whatever teacher is teaching them, they'll practice the same. But in the first go, maybe they're not able to match the same vocal frequency which the teacher is showing them. They will practice again and again, and every time they are vocalizing differently, but they will pick the one which matches their teacher. So, how we learn singing, we humans, how we learn singing? We go to a teacher and listen to the teacher how they are singing. Then we practice. When we practice, we vocalize in a multiple way. And by listening ourselves only, we try to match the teacher. Birds also do the same. What they hear, they recognize and then start practicing. While they're practicing, they're vocalizing differently. And then they will pick the one which matches the one they heard from the surrounding. And that's how the young sparrow will develop the song that exactly matches what they are hearing from the surrounding. So this is the result of the experiment. Now, social experience and song development. In the previous slide, we learned that two factors are responsible for the development of the song. One is the gene and another is the surrounding or the environment. Now, one scientist called Marler interpreted that as brain develop, the sparrow acquire neural mechanism which are highly specialized for learning his species song. Now, why such interpretation? Because in the previous experiment, what the scientists did is they hand reared young white-crowned sparrow, and in the extended experiment, they used the tapes that consist of song from white-crowned sparrow only. So these sparrow learned the song of wild white-crowned sparrow. So both are of same species. Therefore, Marler interpreted that as the brain develops, they acquire neural mechanism from that are highly specialized for learning his species song only. Now, such information is known as acoustal information. When we learn from what we are hearing, So that is an acoustal information. That information is acoustal information. So now, if this interpretation is correct, it needs to be tested. Now, who tested this interpretation? That is Baptista and Petrinovich. What they did is the same. They hand-reared white-crowned sparrow in cage. Now they placed the cage in an area that has strawberry finches. Strawberry finches are the different species of bird. So they can see and hear strawberry finches. Why they did like this? Because in the earlier experiment, it was proved that the young sparrow, what they hear or what they gain from the surrounding, their song develop in the same way. Based on that experiment only, Marlar interpreted that this way their neural mechanism develop in such a way that they will learn only their species song. If this is true, they should not learn the other species song. So to prove this, Baptista and Petrinovich, they hand-reared the sparrow in the cage. They put the cage in the area that has lot of strawberry finches. Strawberry finches is also a different species of bird. So now they can see and hear strawberry finches. At the same time, they use the tape of white-crowned sparrow also. So that means they can only hear white-crowned sparrow, but they can see also and hear also strawberry finches. So now what the result obtained from this experiment? These young sparrow, they learned the song of strawberry finches also. That means the environment definitely has its effect. Such experiment is known as social learning hypothesis testing. So that means the social experience, the surrounding, the environment definitely has its effect the way the song developed. So not only the genes but also the environment has its effect. Therefore, the white-crowned sparrow learned the song of strawberry finches also. So it proves the social experience shape singing behavior. So now how the birds sing, the proximate answer for this is definitely they carry genes which help in the development of neural cells so that they can acquire the mechanism by which they can learn their species song, and also the environment or the social surrounding shapes the way the song develops or the singing behavior. Now, one question from my end for you all, that is, white-crowned sparrow males possess genetic information that influences the development of a biased song learning mechanism. Is it a proximate or ultimate cause? Do let me know in the comment section. If you found the video informative, please do like, share and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the next video notification. Till then, stay safe, stay happy.